Hey guys, welcome and welcome back. My name's Mike. Hope you guys are doing great and having a wonderful day today. So for this Tag Tuesday, I want to do one. It's actually two in one. It's called the Double Tag Tuesday. It's the What's Next and the RTBR's Fun or Not tag. Now I seen this off of Book Chat with Pat, off of her channel, but the original creators for the What's Next is Bob at Robert G. Reader of Books, and then the original creator for RTBR's Fun or Not is Candy at the Great Literary Rabbit Hole, and I'll put their channels in the description down there. So this one's got quite a few questions on it, so we'll just jump right into it. Let's see, number one, how many books are currently or normally on your TBR? Currently, right now, as I'm filming this is November, about middle of November. I've got 4 books on my TBR, and this is kind of like by the end of December. So the first one is The Silence of the Lambs. It's the second book in the Hannibal series. I'm doing a buddy read of these books with Chris over at Chris's Reading Corner. You should check his videos out, because if you're watching mine, you need to watch his. He's doing a really good job on his. This year, I've never done this before. I've seen this on BookTube forever, where people will do like Christmassy, themed books. I've never done that. So this year, I'm actually going to do that with 2 books. Sorry about that. I had to pause the video. So this year, I'm going to be doing the Christmas themed with 2 different books, actually. This one I just found online. I don't know really exactly what it is, but it's called The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. And then the other one I'm going to read, which I haven't read yet, which is a classic, is The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I've never read it. I found this copy here a long time ago, but it's got kind of a neat little picture in the front there. And then the other 2 that are on my TBR for the try to get done by December is South of No North by Charles Bukowski. I got this off of Chris's channel. He's read that. And then the last one I got, and I don't know if I'll finish this by the end of the year, because this thing is massive, but it's The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. And it's huge, and I'm not that far into it. I'm barely in it, so I don't think I'll get that one done, but I will get the other 4 read for sure. Question number 2 is, how do you choose TBR books, and have you ever gamified your TBR, like prompt jars or TBR games? No, I've never done any TBR games before. My channel is still fairly new. How do I choose them? I mean, I've got a list, probably like most people, of books that I want to read and have had on my list forever. And I've got tons of books, unfortunately, on my shelves already, unread, that I want to read, that I know I want to read. So I really just come in my room and pick something. So over here, these shelves that you see, these floating shelves, that's what I use as my like TBR, really. So I've got just 2 regular bookshelves, I don't know, 6 feet tall or whatever they are. So I'll pull books off of those shelves and put on these shelves. So these books here, actually, I'm going to read next year, 2026. And I want to do a video on that later on. But so I just take books that I want to read, I put them on those shelves over there. And that's always subject to change. I decide I don't really want to read that, so I'll throw it back on one of my shelves and replace it with a different one. But so it's just kind of, I'm kind of a mood reader, Number 3 is, do you have reading areas of focus to choose books for? If yes, how many? Not necessarily. I have a wide range of reading tastes. I mean, I've got classics, I've got fiction, nonfiction, I've got like YA, I've got poetry, I've got graphic novels. I mean, I've got a little bit of everything, so. Number 4, does a TBR help you focus? Yes and no. Like I said, I've got a lot of unread books that I've bought over the years that I know I want to read. So, I mean, I already have the books. They're on my shelves. I just got to read them. So I don't really have a problem with staying focused. I always go out and buy new books and find random little gems, you know, that you didn't know you needed or wanted while you're out book shopping, and they come home with me. So let's see. Number 5. Do you suffer from the book noise of a TBR? No, I don't. So let's see. Number 6. Do you give your TBR a time limit, or does a TBR make you stress about reading quick enough? No, like I said, I put my books over here on this shelf of what I know I want to read, and I usually do it by the year. But like I said, I will take those books on that shelf and switch them out if I feel like it. So no, I don't stress about it, because whether I get to it now or a year or 2 years from now, I mean, I'm going to read it eventually. All right, let's see. Number 7. Do you have rebellion syndrome? Not wanting to read a book because you put it on your TBR and now feel you have to read it? Kind of. I mean, I've got like books that I bought a long time ago that I was like, so years ago I'd follow the trends, you know, new books or this or that, what's popular, whatever. I don't do that anymore, but I used to. So I was like, oh, this is really popular right now online, or Book Talk or TikTok, YouTube or whatever. So I'd go out and buy a few books, and like, I got to read that. Everyone's talking about it. And then I'd sit there for a while, and then I go back. I'm like, I don't really want to read this. You know, I only bought it because of the hype. So I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that in a couple of years. But number 8. Do you keep books on your TBR until they are read, or swap the TBR around regularly? I've already answered that. I kind of swap them around a little bit. Some I keep on there until I read them. Others I just kind of swap around. Number 9. Have you ever killed a book by having it on your TBR too long? No. I don't ever get rid of them. If I bought them, I'm gonna buy. If I bought them, I'm gonna read them. I bought them because I've done my research and I want to read them. I might kill it from the TBR, you know, shelves over here and throw it back on the bookshelf that it sits there forever, but I don't ever get rid of it. Number 10. Do you have a tick list for your TBR to tick off books as you read them? No, I don't have a tick list as far as, you know, like that, but I do have a little notebook that I keep, and it's full of every book that I've read for each year. So I kind of do it backwards. I don't make lists necessarily, like, you know, I mean, I do kind of make a list of books that I want to buy, that I want to read, but I don't keep those really. Once I read the book, then I'll write it down in here, and I keep this by year. So I have Goodreads. I don't really use it anymore, to be honest with you. I still get on it occasionally, but I've pretty much replaced Goodreads with this for me. I do it by year, just like Goodreads. You go in there, you put, you know, the book, the author, whatever. I just write it with here, and then I'll put how many books I want to read that year. And so let's see. Number 11. What one change do you think would help you help your TBR to be more fun? I don't know, maybe be a little bit more spontaneous, you know, but problem with that is, for me, like, I have in my head, you know, or my unread books, I have lists of books that I know I want to read. So if I'm out shopping or whatever and I find, you know, those random few books, and I bring them home that were not originally part of the, you know, the list, of course it's just going to take longer to read those books, you know, because I'm not a super fast reader. I know some people can read like 100+ books a year. I've never been able to do that personally, mainly just because I don't have a lot of time to do it, you know. So number 12. Is your decision for choosing your next book based on random choice, or is there a method to your madness? Both. Like I've said, both pretty much. I find random books when I want to, and then I have a list of stuff I already have that I want to read. Number 13. Do your criteria for choosing fiction differ from how you choose nonfiction? Yeah, I would think so. I'm pretty new to nonfiction. I've only really gotten into it this year, 2025. Excuse me. I'm really interested in, like, end of World War I, World War II era stuff, American and Germany, stuff like that. So I don't really have a lot of nonfiction as it is anyways. I've got a few, and then I've got like 6 or so books of like history nonfiction from like World War II era. But number 14, do other people influence your next choice? Yes and no. Like I said, so I've been watching YouTube forever, probably like most people. I mean, for years, 10 plus years. But I just started making videos this year for me. In the beginning, probably like most people, you know, over time your reading tastes and style changes. I used to, like I said, watch tons of YouTube booktube videos, and I would get pages and pages of recommendations from different people. You know, I'd write them all down, and I'd be like trying to get all these books. I don't do that anymore, just because I think I've been watching so long, and you know, because I don't want to have a 1,000 book TBR that I know I'm never going to be able to read that much personally. So, I mean, I still do watch booktubers. I'm subscribed to a few people. I will get ideas from them, but for me, it's like I already have so many books. Unless it's something like I really, really want, and I'll get it now and I'll read it soon, I'm not going to go out and buy that book. I might write it down and keep it in my notes of, you know, to get later type thing. Here recently, I've done a buddy read with Chris, my friend Chris, over at Chris's Reading Corner, and we got a few more of those planned. So, like, you know, I've got tons of recommendations from him, because him and I correspond a lot. But other than that, not really. You know, I mean, I'll still every now and then look up stuff online, books and stuff, but no. And then the last question, number 15. Aside from other people, what other influences might impact your choice? Like I said, not a lot. I don't buy new books. Rarely, I mean, rarely do I buy new books. Like this one, the Christmas bookshop that I want to, because I want to do a couple Christmas themed ones this year. This is a new book, I think, as far as I know. Before I say that, let me check so I'm not lying. Well, not really new. 2021, I guess, is when it was published, but most of my books are used. I don't go to new bookstores like Barnes & Noble, or I don't really know what new bookstores are left around here, honestly. I just shop at used bookstores. So if I'm at used bookstores and I see something that, you know, I'm looking for what I'm looking for, and I see other books, of course, yeah, I'll grab them, you know, if I'm interested in it. So that's really the only other influences that might impact what I buy, is just being out at used bookstores. You know, because for me, I go to used bookstores, I talk to people that work there, you know, and they want to give you suggestions, and I'll take suggestions, sure. But most of the time, I don't really I'm not going to go grab that book necessarily that they suggest, unless it's something that really you know, just strikes my, you know, grabs my attention really good, and then I'll grab it. Because I've made the mistake before, because I'm too nice sometimes. I went to this used bookstore. It was like a used new bookstore, a little independent, and the lady at the register, she was talking to me about this book that it's just amazing, you know. So I was like, okay, I'll buy it. Well, the problem was at this bookstore, they didn't have prices on anything. So I go grab the book, and I felt too nice to say, oh no, I don't want it. You know, you just gave me this great story and everything from when you read it, and I didn't want to be a jerk about it. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll get it. $21. I was like, oh, I didn't say nothing. I bought it, paid for it, and went on. But that's why I don't buy new books, because I could have found that same book that she sold me at a used bookstore for $5 or online, you know, which I know it was helping her bookstore, you know, so I'm not against that. It's just I don't normally do that. So so that's it on this book tag. I know that's kind of a lot of questions, but so I'm going to tag a few people, and hopefully they do it, and we can kind of see what their answers are going to be. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.